Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It is time for tarot scopes. We're going to be doing the tarot scopes for the sign of Scorpio. That's Scorpio Sun, Scorpio Moon, Scorpio Rising for the month of October. Now, I'm doing this a little bit differently, a little bit similar to the way I did it at the beginning of the year. I'm going to be doing the astrology first, and then there will be a tarot reading after that. I will timestamp this in case you're not really interested in the astrology and you're just interested in the tarot reading. But either way, you'll have the opportunity to do with this and go wherever you want to go with this reading. So let's start with the astrology. We are in a very intense period. We are in eclipse season, and we'll jump right in and take a look and see what is in store for you, Scorpio, this month. All right, so now, of course, October is one of the months in which Scorpio, the sun is in Scorpio. We have Mercury in Scorpio this month. We have the sun and we have Venus in Scorpio. We start the month actually with Venus in Scorpio. And Venus does make an opposition to Uranus, the planet of sudden, sort of out of nowhere change. Of course, Uranus is sitting in your seventh house and has been there for going on 6 years now. It will actually move into Gemini, but it doesn't do that until next year. So you still have some, what do I want to say? Adventures in relationship. Of course, the month starts with the sun in Libra and Mercury in Libra as well. And we know that the South Node is in Libra. The South Node has been in Libra now for a while. It will be going out of Libra and into the sign of Virgo, but that doesn't happen until, I believe, February of 2025. So we still have some time with the nodes, the North Node being in your sixth house of service and health, pets, mentoring, and the South Node in your 12th house, which is the house of, well, it's the house of spirit. It's the house of self-undoing. It's a very sort of heavy karmic house. But it is our connection in a way to spirit. It is the least material house, the most mystical house. And so with the South Node there, and now a new moon solar eclipse happening on the 2nd of October, we can expect more information coming from those realms for you, which is really not that unusual because that's sort of where you live, Scorpio. I also want to point out that in your eighth house, which is the natural house that's ruled by Scorpio, Jupiter is in there. Jupiter moved into that house back in May, the end of May, and it stays there for about a year. Jupiter is expansion. It is in Gemini, that's communication. So you can expect more communication from spirit. There is a lot of that energy for you living as a Scorpio, but especially now. So it may seem particularly active at this time. Scorpio is a sign that's ruled by, co-ruled, excuse me, by Mars and by Pluto. Mars this month is in Cancer in your ninth house. It's very passionate. The Cancer on the cusp of that ninth house is very passionate. You have a passion for the truth, and you can get frustrated easily, especially while Mars is there. So just watch yourself with Mars there. It is the house of law, judges, things like that, Supreme Court actually. So you just have to avoid getting frustrated too easily because you can end up with some legal problems, maybe a speeding ticket or something like that. So just watch yourself with that. It's a very emotionally fraught time. There's a lot of water in the chart right now, especially once the sun moves into your sign and Venus, Venus starts the month, then moves into Sag. Let's see, when does that happen? That happens relatively early, I believe. Venus into Sag. Must be under where I'm looking here. Venus moves into Sag. Oh, Venus actually moves into Sag on the same day we have the full moon. Now that full moon, let's talk about that. That happens, in fact, on the 17th. You can see that here. That full moon is an Aries full moon. It is in your house of health and service. It is a good time to start a health regime, but full moons are a sort of harvest time. So you're going to be harvesting something. Um, and this particular full moon is conjunct Eris, the goddess of discord. And so there can be some discord, especially in work, maybe with your employees, or your fellow employees, or something like that. So just be aware. As I said, it's a very tense and difficult time that we're in eclipse season, right before an election, in an environment where the world seems like it's burning up and the world is on fire. So just be aware of that. So I talked about Mars. Pluto, your other ruler, is now back in Capricorn. It moved back into Capricorn at the beginning of September, but this month it stations direct. So it moves back into Capricorn, just that last degree of Capricorn. Now it turns around on the 11th and then starts to move forward. And by the 19th, 20th of November, it will be back into Aquarius, where it stays for about 19 more years, give or take, right? All right, so that Pluto changing direction is happening in your third house. Your third house is your house of siblings, it's your house of neighbors, it's your local environment. Pluto is always about power, so there can be some power struggles in that respect. Just be aware and take care. Anything else I want to say about this? Oh, Jupiter also stations, only it's stationing retrograde in that eighth house. The eighth house is the house of taxes, so you do have to be careful with that. Make sure that everything is as it should be and as it needs to be. Even insurance policies might be something that you want to check as well. All right, so that is what I see for you, Scorpio. There are other things, going on, of course, but for a more detailed astrological view, you can check out my mornings as I walk through the garden, or I do a video for the upcoming week. And so you can check the planets at that time. It's not specific, of course, for Scorpio, but if you're astrologically oriented, you can get some good information from that as well. All right, so next thing we will look at is your taroscope. So I will be back with that shortly. All right, Scorpios. Now we're going to take a look at the taroscope, the tarot part of the taroscope for October 2024. I'm going to be using the Light Seers Deck. Oftentimes I use some pretty heavy decks for Scorpio because you guys are kind of heavies, heavies of the zodiac, as it were. But I think that we're moving into Scorpio season. And ultimately, Scorpio is a sign of healing, letting go, surrender to the soul. And the soul is what holds all the light. So you truly are light seers and light seekers. All right, what does Scorpio need to be aware of this month? Oops, geez, I almost threw those on the floor. I need a little water, Scorpio, excuse me. I apologize if I'm gulping too loud, but really thirsty. I have my first cup of coffee in the morning. I should probably have water first, then coffee, but I usually have coffee, then water. And so by the time it's time to drink my water, I'm a little dehydrated. And we know how important it is to be hydrated, especially when you're a water sign, like myself. Not a Scorpio, but certainly a water sign. Okay. Ooh, we got the Four of Wands celebration. It's funny, I've gotten this card over and over again this month for different signs, but oftentimes the first one up. So interesting. This is celebration. So there's something to celebrate this month for you. Maybe if it's at, the end of October, it might be your birthday. So you may be having a nice big birthday bash this year. Okay, what's crossing it is the Queen of Swords. This is good judgment. So if you're going to be at a party or you're going to have a party, you need to um, practice good judgment, right? You don't want to take things too far. We are in intense times, and it doesn't take a lot for something that's a lot of fun sort of spill over into something that might not be a lot of fun. Yeah, see, we have the Page of Swords here at the base. You're actually you're actually walking somewhat of a tightrope. It is a learning experience for you. You have to always just put one foot in front of the other. There's a lot of ideas coming, but there's also a lot of just things that could easily distract you. Um, but your ideas will, in a way, during this month, will um, keep you buoyed. That's the word I want to say. I almost said buoyed, but that's not the words. Buoyed, right? Buoyed up, holding you up. But it is a little precarious, so you do have to watch this month, even with the celebration. In the past, we have burdens, 10 of wands, feeling burdens, maybe moving, maybe some moving from a place, from home, perhaps you're an immigrant or you're immigrating from another country, putting all your things on the back of your yak and coming and moving along, carrying a lot of baggage. That's the past, though. Let's see what's in the sky. Yeah, we have some, the moon is about, well, it can be about lunacy, so we do have to watch for that. The sky card, when I read these cards, isn't always has to do with you. It usually has to do with the environment that we find ourselves in, the zeitgeist, as it were. And the moon is lunacy. And so there's going to be a lot of craziness this month. And of course, we're still in eclipse season in October. We have that new moon solar eclipse at the beginning of the month. So, and always around eclipse seasons, people are in a bad way. In fact, last month during the first part of the eclipse, right, in September, it was a full moon eclipse, and we had all those exploding pagers, exploding phones, people dying and being killed, and just absolute terror. And inhumanity, right? So people are really uh, losing their stuff. Different word, but you know what I mean. That's outside, right? So that if you reach up for it, you can pull it in if you want. I wouldn't suggest it. We have the the Three of Wands in the immediate future. It's funny because I've been when I send when I do readings on people, I will send them the link so they can download the reading and keep it for themselves. And one of the things I've been saying lately is wax up your surfboard. The blue tsunami is coming. And so this isn't, you are in preparation for having to surf the waves, right? But the waves are the waves of emotion. The blue tsunami isn't simply, I think, the wave of energy that's going to get perhaps the Democrats, we would hope, right? That's what we're aiming for here. I don't think that if you're watching me, you know where I stand on this stuff, right? We have this wave, but it is a wave of feeling and a wave of emotion. And we're moving into, right now we're in, our North Node is in Aries, but we're going to be moving into the North Node in Pisces. And that's a lot of water. Pisces can be healing, it can be illusion, it can be delusion. In fact, this is the Pisces card. So there is a lot of healing coming, but with that healing is also I think we're going to have to move through some pretty treacherous waters just in general as a collective. And you as a Scorpio have your surfboard ready. You have to surf it. You have to surf this one, I think. Okay, how it's seen from the outside. The Queen of Cups, excuse me, allergy season, as it were. This is a Scorpio card. So people see you as an oracle. People see you as psychic. People see you as loving and compassionate. People see you as the person they're going to come to with their deepest fears and deepest even traumas. You know, Scorpio is a sign associated with psychoanalysis and being willing to look into the shadow. And so you might find people knocking on your door trying to explore that. And why you? Because in a certain way, Scorpio has either lives within the shadows of things or has risen up from the shadows of things. So you have the experience that these people are seeking, that ability to deeply penetrate your feelings. Domestic situation, the Eight of Pentacles. You are going to be very busy this month. Okay, very busy and make a lot of money, most likely, because there's a lot of pentacles here. But you are going to be inundated with business, it looks like. Okay, hopes and fears. You're hoping for change. I think change in the world, honestly, but it could be change within your own life. This all, okay, well, I'll continue till we get to the end, and then I'll tell you my perception of this reading. Out come the sun. So the sun will shine on the other side of this. So there is this, in this reading, there is this sense of you having to utilize all your knowledge, even if you feel like you're not quite ready for this, or that you don't know enough, or that who am I to be helping people across this gully of with, you see this, she's on a tightrope. She's walking across between two pieces of land, and that is a waterfall that she's walking over. So and it's plunging down. So that's the feelings, that's the emotions, and you don't want to get caught in that. So this is at the root of your reading. You see, and she has these they look like balloons in the shape of light bulbs. This is illumination that's going to keep you up and from dumping into the drink, as it were. And see, there's the illumination, right? So even though you may feel like you're not, because this is a page and pages are young, right? They're not as experienced. This is part of your initiation. This is part of your test in a way. And of course, this being the crossing card to this celebratory energy, there is a certain freedom and happiness and spirit rising here, but we do need to be very cautious about how we proceed. That's what these cards are saying. And so most of these, this is the immediate future, and then this being the root of the issue, is about balance, isn't it? In order to walk across the tightrope, you need balance. In order to stay on the surfboard, you need balance. You are waiting for the big wave to come here, and you will know when to get on the board. You will know when to paddle out and get up and then navigate the wave. Because at the end we have success here. We have success. So let's see what's underneath this as well. Judgment, which is actually a Scorpio card. It's associated with Pluto. It's a Scorpio card on the Tree of Life in relationship to the fact that it is connected to Pluto, which is your ruling planet. Remember, Pluto is in Capricorn now. As your ruling planet, you've had your ruling planet moving through Capricorn for 16 years. And Capricorn deals with the structures. And so you've had experience with the structures. What structures are still stable for you to stand upon, to rebuild upon, right? This is also the Judgment card, is an understanding that you are a soul, that you are more than just your physical body, that this is the ascension process, really. Judgment is the ascension. This is the uncovering of the truth of who we are. I don't know if you can see, but her spirit is being freed. You see that? Okay, so that is underneath it. And then we have Temperance, which is another energy of keeping your balance. This is the straight and narrow. This is tempering your actions. So even if good things are happening and you're feeling ebullient, you have to temper. And then we have the Five of Swords, which is it's kind of abuse of power, it's misinformation, so you have to watch that you're not listening to that. You don't want to listen to the outside world this month. You want to listen to the inside, okay, to your intuition. Oops, okay. That's what it says. All right, I'm also pulling a Mystic Sister Oracle card and also a Tree of Life. So let's pick the Mystic Sister first. I usually just read from the book. Oops, can you, the lighting in here. I'm working with the lighting because I'm in a new spot. And I know that when I move around, it messes up. Okay, well, I guess you don't really have to see me. Maybe this like illusion of like no wrinkles, right? Because it's foggy. As opposed to, who is that? Carrie Lake, who's like so bright. It's like, it's all in the lighting, I guess. I haven't learned that yet. All right. Let's take a look here. All right. Cygnus. Cygnus, Cygnus. And it is a beautiful card. Cygnus, I believe, is the genus, species, either the genus or the species of the swan. I could be wrong. It's just connected to swans. Whether it's genus or species, I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure there's a biologist out there who would tell me. I try to give you all the correct information, but sometimes I'm a little misinformed. Okay. Release and surrender. Well, that's your mantra, isn't it? Isn't that Scorpio's mantra? So you have to be true to yourself here. Swans are also symbolic of the soul and the soulmate. Okay. Swans symbolize the transformation of the soul and the release of matter into pure spirit. Because swans are adept at moving on land, on water, and through the air, in ancient times they were believed to be messengers of the gods that carried souls away. It is said that swans only sing once in their lives when they are about to die. Hence, a swan song has the meaning of a person's last piece of creative work or final performance. The card of Cygnus tells you that it is time to gracefully release something, a beloved idea or person that you hold close to your heart. You may have already reached this conclusion. If not, the card may give you a gentle push to finally let go with grace and honor. So this is let go. And one of the issues that probably Scorpio struggles with the most is the idea of letting go of control. That's why Scorpios are often seen as manipulative and controlling. It's really the fear of it's in a way, Scorpio is the sign where the personality annihilates to the soul, but it feels like an annihilation because in a certain way, you lose that individual sense, although you don't quite lose it, you just open up to a greater experience, and then you can still have that sense of self, but connected to something much greater. All right, let's pick a Tree of Life card. Great. Okay, Tree of Life. And I have my tree right there next to me. What is your advice for Scorpio? Tree of Life. The word Kabbalah means to receive. So let's see what we're receiving from the tree. The Tree of Life. We are receiving the Tree of Life. You get the whole tree this month. All right, I will read. I will hold that up, but let me open it up. Let me grab this here. This might actually be the first card in the deck. It is. Okay, I'll read this to you. See that? These are such beautiful cards. This card shows the central organizing system of Kabbalah, the map, if you like. The Sephiroth and the paths hold one another in place. Take one away, and the whole system would crumble. The glyph for the Tree of Life often feels oddly familiar to those who have never seen it before. It is a geometric shape that holds all there is, was, and will be. This card is bringing the map of your consciousness for a reason. And as with all maps, it can show you where you've been, where you are, and where you're going, and how to get there. Take some time to consider the position you find yourself in. Ask where you want to be and which experience or path will get you there. Be fully present with the choices you make is something that brings magic. It's something that brings magic of its own. You cannot take control of your life without it. You are your own tree. Acknowledge the way this form vibrates within you. As you do, you can bring your physical, emotional, and spiritual into alignment. Understand what no longer serves you and adjust. There could be issues of support or lack of it in your life right now. Look at the image and ask where that lack comes from, what personality or soul archetype is at play, and how best to address it. Okay. The whole tree. The blueprint of your life, the blueprint of your consciousness. This is the time we've been waiting for. We are the people we've been waiting for. And I know as a Scorpio that you have been through a lot of experience that other people would consider challenging. You probably considered it challenging too, but you are here now for a reason. Shine your light, Scorpio. Shine the light of your soul. Surrender and shine. All right. Have yourself a wonderful month. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you'd like to check Mystic Sisters, I have a sort of a live that we do. Me and Ona from Ona's Tarot do it every Saturday from 7 Eastern, 6 Central. And depending on the week, it would either be on my channel, Victoria Scribble, or Ona's Tarot. You can watch it without subscribing, but if you want to interact with us, you have to be a subscriber to be in the chat window. And you can ask us questions and, bring up issues if we're discussing stuff or if there's something that you want us to look at. So you could always do that Saturday evenings. You can see me in the mornings every day when I walk through the garden. It is fall now, so but the garden is still beautiful in a different way. Everything changes. We go from nothing to everything, and then to sort of a slow release. And that release, as you know, Scorpio, can be divine. So join me for that in the mornings. Um, and I think that's all I want to say. Have yourself a wonderful month. Um, we are the people we've been waiting for, so we all have to get to work. Take care. Namaste.